Finally, for the first time since May 31st, this year, I am live doing a post-game show where I discuss a win for the New York Metropolitans. Now, of course, the Mets have had a couple wins since then. It's been few and far in between, however, and I've been doing recap videos because I've been out of town when those have transpired or at the game itself. But the Mets get the dub tonight. Mad Max, what an effing beauty. After having one of his worst starts in his Mets tenure, follows it up with arguably easily one of his best. We have a lot to get into on Max's start. We have a lot to get into on the offense. Everyone and their mother was hitting. You know it's a good night for the Metropolitan offense when Daniel Vogelbach is driving in, not one, not two, but three effing runs. Lindor, since becoming a daddy at 2, has been raking bombs as he is now at 50 RBI stakes on the season. We got a lot to get into. We're breaking down innings 1 through 9. We got our beautiful sponsors in Mojo Sportsbook, Sorare MLB, Manta Sleep, a little bit more on them later, and getting into our player of the game. But more than anything, before we break down this game inning by inning and share the raw reactions, get into the donations, all that fun stuff, I want to see those W's spam in the live chat. This was needed. Finally, the Mets get a dub, and no, we're not World Series bound. However, the Mets again needed a win like this against an Astros team that has been beyond vulnerable without Jordan and their lineup, facing some other injuries to the rotation especially. They beat up on a really good young stud in Hunter Brown, who quite literally has the same release and windup as Justin Verlander, his former teammate, in which JV, of course, got his ring with winning the Astros last year. Again, great ceremony for him pregame. But the Mets beat up on a very good young starting pitcher, a flamethrower no less today. It feels like the Mets have done pretty well against flamethrowing young starters, from Spencer Strider to now Brown. That hasn't been their failure. The offense has been there. It just has not been on the pitching front, and the Mets certainly got that. That's absolutely huge. Someone said in the chat, those numbers look fake. You would think they're fake with the way that this Mets team has played for a good portion of this entire season. This entire month of June, pardon my French, has been a shit show. So it's refreshing, and it's so great to actually go to bed happy about this club for a change as the Mets look for the Series W tomorrow. Yes, you heard that correctly. They look for the Series W tomorrow with JV on the bump against his former club in the Astros. I'm really excited to see how JV's going to do. Big test for him against an Astros team that, while they're being down right now, they just got swept by Cincinnati. The Reds are now on a 9-game heater. Holy guacamole, are they looking good with Ellie De La Cruz, Spencer Steer, McLean, Votto coming back and being, not to get on a tangent there, but there's a lot of really good teams in baseball right now. And the Astros, even while they're down, the Mets need to make sure they continue to beat up on them while they're down. And this isn't about, you just beat the Astros because they have injuries right now. The Mets need as many wins as possible, as consistently as possible, because they haven't played good against any type of baseball team this year. They haven't played good against good teams. They haven't played good against bad teams. That was a great example, losing 2 out of 3 against the St. Louis Cardinals. So one thing is certain, the Mets need wins. They need more. I'm not sold on them in the slightest right now, but I am sold on them having a dominant game. Easily, you could argue the best game they've had all season or close to. Just a perfectly balanced win from the pitching that you get Mad Max for 8 that we're going to get into. From the offense, led by Daniel Vogelbach, led by Francisco Lindor, led by everyone and their mother. You love to effing see it. So again, shout out to you beauties for chiming in live or on replay. Really does mean a lot as we're breaking down the latest and greatest in Metsland as they take game 1 of a 3-game set against the Houston Astros. Make sure to smash that like and subscribe on as you're chiming in. It's always appreciated, folks. And again, happy to have you all here. Shout out to Darren, my great member. I know it's really early there in the UK, so I appreciate him chiming in. Shout out 5-Speed. Shout out Sprite. Shout out to my modded AB. Shout out all my loyal viewers watching live on our replay, new or reoccurring viewers. Happy to have you guys all in here. And again, we got a lot to get into. We really do. But more than anything, I feel like I have to jump to the chase just a little bit with one of our sponsors, and that is my great friends, that being at Mojo Sportsbook. And the reason why we are jumping to Mojo right now is because as I've been tweeting out, as you guys have been following my Twitter account, I've been tweeting out, daily props that they are proposing. And what they came out with today was that you could get a Tommy Pham over on 1.5 bases at plus 162 odds. If you bet on that, if you're a New Jersey resident, then you made absolute money, because Tommy Pham, who has 7 extra base hits over his past 10 games, followed it up with another double today. Had an RBI. Tommy Pham continues to rake. He has RBIs in 18 RBIs in his past 16 games. And guys, what I love about Mojo Sportsbook, shout out to them for being a great sponsor by clicking the link in the description for everyone watching live on a replay and using my my promo code WardyNYM for a 20% deposit match up to $100. But they combine the stock market with actual players, so you can invest on the player, or you can do player props, K-props on the daily, however you want to go about them. But to tell you just a little bit more about Mojo Sportsbook, they are the live stock market that's operating in New Jersey. Every bet on Mojo offers live trading, so you can get in and get out all game long. It's stock trade meets sports betting with money lines, player props, and a whole new career-long bet they've created. The best part is that you're in total control of your bets, which is so important. You can cash in when you're up, and you can cash out if it's going bad. Mojo's cash outs are available way more than any other sportsbook, which is important, especially if you're looking for a hefty cash out while there's still time to play on those games and you're not getting completely gypped. That's where Mojo Sportsbook comes into play. So again, get the app now. Use my promo code WardyNYM for a 20% deposit match up to $100 for New Jersey residents only. And again, thank you guys all so much, everyone that has signed up and will continue to do so. And shout out to Mojo Sportsbook for being a great sponsor on the channel. But now let's get back into it. We'll get into the other sponsors later. And of course, our awesome Francisco Alvarez jersey giveaway, in which we'll be announcing the winner of said giveaway at the end of the month. So make sure you guys are chiming in to hear that. Let's see this. AZ, thank you so much for a $2 holla. He says, one of those rare days I smiled watching the Mets. Yeah, seriously. I know. Thank you, God. Thank you, baseball gods, for giving us something happy to be happy about tonight. You know, it's been few and far between, and covering this Mets team has been anything but easy, to say the least. You know, as much as I enjoy what I do, and as much as I am grateful for what I am, which is a Mets content creator, and all the opportunities it's given me, this amazing group of Mets fans that we have here on the channel, as amazing as that all is, I'm going through the ringer just like you guys as a diehard fan. So when this team is playing like shit, I'm going to call it out, and I'm going to go through the motions. It's going to impact me on the daily just like any other fan. But right now, right as we speak, the Mets just had a huge win against the reigning champs, and that was beyond needed. Let's talk about it, folks. We're going to get into the hitting numbers. We're going to get into the pitching numbers. We're going to get into player game very shortly. But I really just want to break down, first and foremost, this game inning by inning. Now, give me 1 second. I'm going to do that right now. And again, shout out everyone first chiming in as the Mets again take game one of a 3-game set against the Houston Astros by a final score of 11-1. And how this game unfolds, let's break it down, folks. Let's do it, beauties. Let's do it together. And guys, let me know in the live chat who you think deserves to be player of the game tonight. Should it be Max? Should it be Lindor? Should it be Vogelback? Should it be your mother? Whoever it's going to be, let me know in the live chat right now. But as this game gets rolling, Mad Max with a 1-2-3 first. Follows it up with a 1-2-3 second. And the third, Vogelback with a solo home run to right. Vogie starting to get hot. Again, bench for a little bit. Vientos getting playing time. Now that Marky V is sent down, which I have more expanded thoughts to share with you guys after we break down this ball game, I will do that. Vogelback is going to be getting consistent reps for the time being. Let's see if he can take advantage. As much as I've been critical of Vogelback as I have with Pham in the past, if these guys are in the starting lineup, I'm always rooting for them, and I always want them to perform. And thankfully, Daniel Vogelback has looked like he started to find it. He took a high fastball, and he did not swing through it. He did not swing. He actually swung, barreled that bad boy, and gave the Mets an early 1-0 lead in the third. It gets a Hunter Brown, who made this entire Mets offense look absolutely stupid throughout the first 2 innings. They were swinging on 99 heaters inside the zone, you know, nowhere close to actually being in the box, and they were looking stupid. But Vogelback takes him deep, and thankfully Hunter Brown starts to unravel here. Beatty, again, Texas native. He has his family in attendance, had some great defense, and had some solid offense today, too, with a couple base knocks. He gets his first single of the night. Alvey right afterwards with a single. You kids, the thriving. You love to see it. Marte with a single. So you got multiple guys on base right there. And then Francisco Lindor rips a 3-run ding-dong to give the Mets already a 4-0 lead. This is what you like to see, folks. Pardon me, 5-0 lead, rather, because I can't do math. So Marte's single was an RBI single. I forgot about that. So Marte drove in a run to make it 2-0. Then Lindor, again, since becoming a father or two, is just killing baseballs. He was beforehand. Need to get that contact up a little bit, but he's still on pace right now for around 30 home runs and 100+ RBIs this year. We're happy about that. Just want to see more contact hitting. Lindor had a huge night, no less, with that 3-run shot there in the third. The Mets have a 5-0 lead. 5 runs all scored in that third inning. And as we head to the bottom of the third, Mad Max, what does he do? He does another, you know, aside from allowing a Pena single, gets out of it without a problem. In the fourth, guess what? And Mad Max 1-2-3 inning. In the fifth, guess what? And Mad Max 1-2-3 inning. This is easily the most controlled and most composed I've seen Max Scherzer looked, and I don't even know how long. And what stood out the most to me in the minds of many and Mets fandom is Max had the slider. The slider that has been non-existent in his last start against the Yanks. It has been non-existent in many of the starts in which he has had his fair share of struggles, including his start against the Atlanta Braves. We see tonight he had full control, lots of nice, controllable, horizontal movement, big swing and miss. I mean, I think the whiff rate was over 30% tonight on the slider. You love to see it. Huge for Max, and he's cruising through 5. And as we get to 6, Tommy Pham, again, if you had him on the over on 1.5 bags today, you got yourself the hit on that prop. So shout out all you guys that betted that, especially with Mojo Sportsbook for New Jersey residents only. He gets a double. McNeil drives him in. More like Mick hits, Mick RBI hits. Shout out Jeff again. Can't thank him enough for inviting me to his charity event or the past couple days. I'm happy to see McNeil thrive here with an RBI single. And then he gets to third base. He's still second base. A terrible throw by Maldonado. It gets past the second baseman. He gets to third with ease. The Mets would not score another run there, but they are up at this point 6-0. So normally when you're thinking, okay, the Mets are up 6-0, you have a confidence. I still wasn't overly confident yet because the Mets up to tonight have lost, get ready for this, their past 6 games when scoring 7 or more runs. Yes, you heard that correctly, folks. The New York Metropolitans have lost 6 straight games when scoring 7 or more runs. So I don't blame any Mets fan whatsoever if they still have little confidence with this club when they have a big, gigantic lead, because they have managed to blow it to astronomical proportions that we have seen over the past month and a half. And to give you further insight on how much of a struggle this Mets pitching has been, which is exactly why getting dominant pitching tonight and hopefully going forward is so unbelievably needed, and they still need to make moves. Don't get it twisted. It doesn't matter how good they were tonight. Billy, make calls. I don't care if you have to be aggressive. I don't care if you have to slightly overpay. Depending on the price, make sure you get your guys sooner than later, especially get more depth in this pen and depth in the rotation. However, the Mets entering today, when scoring 5 or more runs this season, have a record of 19-14. First of all, that's horrendous, right? Now to do a comparison from last year, just to show you the drastic difference, while this team is very much similar in a lot of ways, but the pitching is what's sticking out like a sore thumb, and difference is the Mets last season, when scoring 5 or more runs, had a record of 76-5. You heard that correctly, folks. 76-5 was the Mets record last year when scoring 5 or more runs. And entering tonight's game against Houston, 19-14 on the season. Pitching has been the demise of this club, and it will continue to be. And this Mets team will only go as far as their pitching can take them. They have scored runs early and often that we've seen in many games over the past month, but to little success thanks to the lack of pitching. So to get this type of dominant performance from Mad Max is not only beyond needed, but it's to another level than that. This is something that this Mets team, if they did not have dominance for Max tonight, again, it could have been another wasted opportunity where you score at least 6-7 runs. Thankfully, Max was on his effing shit tonight. Pardon my French. I'm juiced up about talking about this team for once. It's been a minute. So let me enjoy this and savor in this, and marinate in this for at least the next 24 hours, depending on how tomorrow night's game with JV on the bump goes. But jumping back into this ball game, Maldonado with a single, Bregman with a single, 2 on, 2 out, and Max gets out of it. Why? Because he's a stud. That's why in the 7th, Diaz for the Astros rips a solo shot to left, and it's a 6-1 Mets lead still. In the 8th, Pete Alonso rips his first hit coming off the IL, and can we talk for a minute about Pete Alonso being off the IL? Again, when I met Pete a couple days ago, beauty, really, really nice. Again, told him how grateful I was with him and Jeff and just how much of a stud of a player that they are and how much it makes life easier for me covering the team when they are thriving and just how much I appreciate them. He was really nice in our conversation, but he didn't have the brace on. Asked him how his wrist was and naturally gave the corporate answer as he would, saying he's feeling good, he's okay. And then we see he's taking BP the next day. And the day after that, he's taking grounders. And yesterday, he was taken off the IL after only 11 days of a stint that we thought would be at minimum 30. Huge to get Alonso back as he rips a scorching double there in the gap between center and left. The Mets will not score in that inning, but again, nice to see Alonso barrel one. And again, hopefully the start of him to start again on a roll coming off the IL. In the 8th, bottom of the 8th rather, Meyer with a walk and Altuve with a double play ends the inning, and that is how we get to Mad Max having an effing beautiful final line. But before we get into that, let's talk about this 9th inning. So the Mets scored 5 runs in the 3rd, right? Well, they decided to do it again in the 9th. You got to feel sorry for Sean Dubin, the rookie, who's making his debut tonight. You know what this reminded me a lot of for Dubin? This reminded me so much of that being in Thomas Szapucki against the Giants. Now his team, of course, that J.D. Davis deal, but against the Giants last June, if I'm not mistaken. Sapucki got rocked. And again, Zubin just had to eat innings for an Astros team that knew that they were not going to be rallying back tonight. And it starts with, again, Brett the Met, the Texas native, with his family in attendance with his second hit up the middle of the day. Marte with a single. Lindor with a 2-run double. All Lindor does is hit extra base hits. If it's not an extra base hit, it's not a Lindor hit. That's as simple as it is. He drives in 5 RBIs. RBIs is what he has tonight, guys. Alonso then with a walk. Pham with an RBI single, because why the hell not? It's off the glove there, the infielder, because Pham, every time he barrels a baseball, is scorching it. Again, so hard contact from Pham every time he's out there. Again, he now has 18 RBIs in his past 16 games. McNeil with a single, and Hoagie Vogie going oppo with a 2-run single. Daniel Vogelback didn't just have multiple hits today, but he had 3 RBIs. Are my eyes deceiving me? Did Hoagie Vogie actually just do that? Yes, he did. Again, if you're going to be in this lineup, I want you to produce. Thank you, Vogelback, for finally starting to be productive. We saw the bomb the other day. To get this production is beyond needed. You'll love to see that. Let's see. $5 donation for tonight's game. James, you're a beauty. Yoshima, thank you so much for it. Nice, non-stressful win for us. Win for once. Much needed laugher for us. I mean, beyond needed, to say the least. Again, appreciate the $5 holla, Yoshima. For those that don't know, Yoshima is the latest giveaway winner on the channel. He won a Brett Beatty jersey that is already in his possession, or is about to be, and we're doing a Francisco Alvarez jersey giveaway at the end of the month that I'm going to be getting into very shortly. So make sure you're chiming in live or on replay so you can get in on the action in regards to that. But guys, we have to talk about the player of the game. Everyone in the live chat, let me know who you think the player of the game is, and then I'm going to share with who it is. But I think we just got to jump right into it, because you know who it is. I mean, as great of an outing as Lindor had, as great as an outing of that Vogelback had, the Mets again had 14 hits, only a 244 expected batting average. Shoot, that's a crazy thing. But 14 hits, 11 runs scored. And as great as that offense was, there's nothing greater than dominant pitching that the Mets managed to get from their man in Max Scherzer. Mad Max, 8 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 9 Ks on 91 pitches. And I'm sorry, he had 8 Ks. I knew I messed up something on the graphic. Ignore it. We could say he had 9 Ks. It felt like he had 9 Ks, even though he only had 8. Mad Max was cruising tonight, so spam those Mad Maxes in the chat right now. What an absolute beauty he was tonight. When you needed Max most, when you needed a dominant start most, that is what you got. If anyone took the over on Ks tonight, you came out cashing out like a bandit. The same way that you were if you went on Mojo Sportsbook and took the 30, I think it was only 38 cents to invest on Tommy Pham's over on 1.5 bags, which equates to plus 162 odds in your favor. So again, a lot of easy ways to make money tonight for all my betting fans out there, and Mad Max was in his effing bag tonight. You saw control, you saw poise, and as we go through the player breakdowns here that Baseball Savant does a great job of providing, this was his pitch mix tonight, folks. 4-seam fastball 45% of the time. He topped out 95 and averaged 94 on the heater. Slider, 34% of his arsenal tonight, topped out 86, average 84. And what I saw most about that slider tonight was his whiff. He got a lot of whiffs tonight, and that's what you love to effing see. The changeup, 11%. That's a nasty strikeout on Bregman earlier, too, if I'm not mistaken. 11% of his arsenal. 86 where he topped out, 84 was the average. Curveball and cutter at 8% and 2% get solid as well, but Mad Max, again, was in his groove. And, I mean, this is what you needed. This is exactly what you need. Could not have come at a more strong time for a Mets team that is so desperate for any type of competent pitching. I mean, for him to go 8 innings tonight and to save the entire bullpen does wonders. And then you have Grant Hartwig making his MLB debut to come in and pitch that ninth that we see. And again, he gave up a couple walks, had a big double play, got out of it. Grant Hartwig, for those that don't know, was brought up as John Curse was sent down after pitching over 2 innings yesterday. Makes sense. He wouldn't have been available today. Grant Hartwig, a lot of Mets fans, OGs on the channel. Shout out D. Wilson. Shout out all my OG members watching right now. Happy to have you guys in here live or on replay. But for those that don't know Grant Hartwig, he's been a revelation, right? This was a guy that just 2 years ago or so thought, he was not going to be a pro baseball player at all. Now, last year, after starting in single A with the Mets, played in every minor league affiliate from single A to double A to ultimately triple A. And he dominated, had a 1.72 or so ERA. This year, a 4.2 ERA in AAA. However, So has some nice stuff, has life on his fastball, sits around 96, 97 on the heater, and he gave the Mets that final inning that they needed, a scoreless one, aside from giving up that walk or two. So Grant Hartwig, shout out to you for making a very strong... Sorry, guys. Shout out to Grant Hartwig for making a very strong MLB debut, and hopefully we see more production out of him for however long he's going to be in this pen. Again, I know we've had some members. I'm blanking on who it is. I don't know if it was the Shraken or if it was someone else, but I know someone last year was asking about Grant Hartwig a lot, and now we're seeing him at the MLB level right before our eyes. So very happy to see Grant Hartwig again make his debut, be productive, and again in a 11-1 Mets win. I like Walker coming in. Josh Walker, the southpaw, has been very solid for the Mets this past couple outings, too. He eats innings. I like him as well. Hopefully, he can give the Mets more length and production when they need it. But you saw from the pitching. Now let's get into the hitting, guys. Let's break down the hitting numbers. And I know you see there at shortstop, it's supposed to be Lindor, but Yorme came in as defensive replacement. Don't forget that Lindor, again, 2 for 5 today with the home run, with the double, and with 5 RBIs. And also Narvaez was in there at the end for Alvarez, who did get hit on, a foul pitch that got him right on the hand and knee. He a little swollen. He stayed in for the next half inning or so, but did not catch there in the ninth, which is fine. Alvarez did have himself a single and a walk today. But the offense overall, it was early and often. I mean, Brandon Nimmo 0 for 5, a rare night with 3 strikeouts. It's no problem for this team. Marte with the production. Alonso with the double. Pham with, again, another consistent outing. Tommy Pham is batting 260 with 825 OPS. You cannot ask for much more with the way that he has been on a heater as an extra base god right now and driving in runs on an electric rate over the past 15, 20 games. Love to see it. McHits with 2 hits today. Love to see that. Beatty with 2 hits and 2 runs scored. A lot of production. The depth of this lineup was huge from 1 to 9. They came out early and they came out often, and they were in bunches there in the 3rd and then in the 9th. Yeah, it was the 9th, correct, that they scored those 5 runs again. 10 runs out of those 2 innings. Absolutely huge, and that's what you like to see. So, again, to everyone that had the privilege of actually watching this Mets win today, I hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as I did because, my goodness, my God, my gracious, I mean, it's so refreshing. I hope it lasts. I hope the Mets can finally start to get on the heater now. But man, oh man, this team needed it so bad. Let's see. James says, "I love it. I love a win. Put it in the books, and it puts you and me in such stress-free mood." Finally, I feel like I can breathe a little bit covering this team, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that. But what I do want to get into now, for all you beauties out there who, of course, know our great friends on the channel, our next sponsor, that being in Sorare MLB. Sorare MLB, of course, for those that don't know, is the best MLB fantasy game out there. And when I tell you Sorare MLB has been doing wonders, not only as a great partner here, but they're officially partnered with MLB, they have been doing wonders for all the people playing this game in baseball land. Because all you have to do is sign up is by clicking my link in the description or in the live chat. You can sign up to Wardy's unique Sorare MLB League where you play against me and other Mets fans. You draft your team. You do not have to spend a dime to play if you don't want to. You enter weekly tournaments, and then you have a chance to win, yes, a Francisco Alvarez jersey. So all you have to do, again, is sign up to this free MLB fantasy game that gives you unique prizes from hundreds of thousands of dollars if you enter high-ranking unique tournaments, to jerseys of your favorite players, right, including the one we're doing here, to different types of giveaways, getting VIP access to games and meeting your favorite players, to all different types of things. Again, it's all in the baseball land. They've been doing a great job. Love their product. Been playing them weekly. My teams are doing okay right now. I'm very happy with the production I'm getting thus far, and hoping the same for you, because we've had hundreds of signups since we started this campaign over the past couple months, and now we are doing a Francisco Alvarez jersey. So again, all you have to do to enter is click the link in the live chat, or click the link in the description down below, or click the link in the comments down below for people on replay, and all you gotta do is sign up, enter Wardy Sorare MLB League. You play against me and other competitors that are part of the WardyNYM community. You draft your team. You enter weekly tournaments. Make sure you do all those steps. Again, don't have to spend a dime if you don't want to. It's free to play overall. Do all those steps. You enter, and you're automatically entered for your chance at winning the Alvarez jersey, and which we'll be picking one random winner at the end of the month. So again, make sure to click those links. Sign up, free to play. Draft your team. Enter weekly tournaments, and you will have a chance, better than ever, to acquire Francisco Alvarez jersey at the end of the month. And shout out to Sorare MLB, as always, for being a great sponsor on the channel. But guys, let's get back into this. Let's talk about this Mets team. I want to get to some of your comments here in the live chat. Let's see. Ward, are you going to one of the Phillies games this weekend? I'm going Friday, and hopefully we get a dub. I am not going Friday. However, I am going Saturday. Just got it in the mail today. Shout out to my man Darren, because of course our great partners at the 7 line just got the hookup, and I will be there Saturday with the 7 line is what I'm going to be. And as of now, we're going to be trying our best to get Anthony Recker, my co-host, to be there. So for anyone that will be there this Saturday for the 4 o'clock game, the tailgate early on, to be hitting the bars and having a good time, starts around 12. The weather doesn't look good on Saturday right now. There's a 60% chance of rain, I'm not mistaken, in the area. We'll see how that looks come the weekend. But as of now, I'm planning on going this Saturday. Rec is hopefully going to be making an appearance, so we'll be attending the game together with Darren and the entire 7 line section out there in the outfield against the Philadelphia Phillies in Philly. So if you guys already got tickets, I will see you all there. If you didn't, you'll have to try for next time, because the 7 line outings sell out fast. And thankfully, as part of the 7 line, I will be in attendance there and having a great time, because I'm just over an hour away off the turnpike from where I reside in PA. So Philly's an easy hike for me. It's a hike when I go to New York, because that's like 2.5. But Philly's an easy one. So I'm fully planning to go as of now to the game, barring any changes, and we'll be rolling in deep easily. I think we're going to have at least 1,000 strong. So excited to be there. Shout out to everyone that will be in attendance this weekend, whether you're going with the 7 line, whether you're going just in general. Look out for your boy. We're going to have a great time this Saturday at the game, barring the weather, and hopefully, there will be a game played. Where are you? Where you can't stay on forever? Where are you talking about, David? I don't know what you're saying. And I appreciate the kind words, James. Thank you. Says this was one of the most complete, satisfying wins of the season. Let's hope Mets can string together some W's. Yes, seriously, the Mets, what they need right now, they don't need to just win series. They need to get on a winning streak. I know that's a tall ask for a Mets team that has gaping holes still in their pitching front. Still trying to find that consistency, but you got to start somewhere, and hopefully that begins with tonight's dub, and then they can get some more from there. But I gotta say, aside from Mad Max's brilliance that we saw tonight, it was just so great to see again the offense step up when they had strong pitching, because it felt like all season long when the Mets have had great pitching, they haven't had the offense. When they have great offense, they don't have the pitching. Finally, things were in unison. They got that consistency that we have been asking for on a night-to-night basis. Hope to see you in Boston with the 7 line. Not sure if I'll be going to the Boston outing this year. I think that's in September or whenever it is. I would like to. I'm just not certain. I know they'll be in. Was it? Oh wait, actually no. Oakland was last year. Boston's this year towards the end of the year. I think they're going to Minnesota too. I don't know if I'll be going to Boston this year. I think it might be too tight with my schedule. But if not, then definitely the next year if they do it again. Because now, thankfully, the Mets play a team at least once every year, right? At least one series. So if they're rolling in Boston next year, I'll definitely be there. I know that we met Chris 2 years ago in 2021 when I took part with the 7 line. That was just when I was a fan. That's when I barely knew Darren, started to build a relationship with him. And now fast forward 2 years later, I'm partnered with the 7 line, and I have the privilege to go to any away outing, especially. So it's pretty damn sick. I'm going to hopefully be documenting this weekend too, and just so excited. Again, the 7 line do great things. The best Mets fan group out there in all of baseball. No one rolls in over 1,000 plus strong to any ballpark that they choose better than the 7 line. They are one of their own, and for everyone that is a 7 line member, you guys are absolute beauties. I know I met many of you, but not all of you, so I'm looking forward to interacting with you more as soon as this weekend. July for Boston, I thought so. Yeah, that's probably going to be a little bit tall of a task for me. I am going to be also in San Diego for the Mets-Padres series with my man Borna at Hogwatch. You guys know we've collaborated before. Borna is like one of my closer friends. He's a work friend of mine. We collaborate together constantly. I will be in San Diego for that series leading into the All-Star break with him. So that will be the next big trip when it comes to going out of state, if you will, for a Mets game. So be on the lookout, because that's, mid-July when that's happening. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Worry, what trades do I see happening? It's a little early. I can't say specific players, but I can say, because we'll do those in separate videos that will be rolling out hopefully in the coming weeks as we get closer to the draft. This year's draft, too, I don't know how heavy I'm going to cover it because they have the 32nd overall pick. I'm going to try my best to do some coverage of it at least. But the Mets need relief pitching. They need starting pitching depth. And my eyes are locked in on the Chicago White Sox more than anything, as many feel the same. The Kansas City Royals and some other clubs as well. I mean, even to maybe a little bit of a lesser degree, depending on how much they're willing to sell, the St. Louis Cardinals. The St. Louis Cardinals are a team that I'm thinking about as well. I really am. But again, they're a team that I could see somehow, some way coming out of their hole with Lars Nootbaar back from his IL stint. And again, they have the talent. They just have not put together at all, and they've struggled on the pitching front. So they're another team that I could look at, but I think they're a little teetering too much or, not too sure yet. Pitching-wise as well, Milwaukee, seeing where they're sitting by the trade-in line, but they probably won't sell much. So just some teams to follow in general that will be gaining to more and more. Zach Greinke, no, I love Greinke, but no, thank you. Just a little too old and washed for me. Well, if we're gonna get an old guy, I would much rather a guy that had 16 strikeouts and was hit or miss, but who was a bulldog and is a no nonsense, and Lance Lynn. If we're gonna pick an older starting pitcher like that, that's just one that cracks the dome. And shout out Mike at Stark Raven Sports for that initial thought process before, but. Again, look at these Haynes stats. Look how pretty they are tonight, guys. Just look how pretty they are. I cannot get over the offensive production that this Mets team managed to get tonight. And hopefully, again, they get more of this in the days going forward. And hopefully you guys continue to smash that like and subscribe button as you're chiming in. Okay, so now that we're a half hour into the show, let me go on a little bit of a Wardy rant here. And this is in regards to Mark Vientos. Now, as we know, Mark Vientos has been sent down as a corresponding move to activate Alonso yesterday on Father's Day. Again, shout out all those beautiful fathers out there, those amazing dads who are there for their daughters, for their sons, or whoever it may be. Again, appreciate you guys and all that you do. And even though that Father's Day sucked as a Mets fan because the Mets lost in heartbreaking fashion 8-7, they did make the move with Alonso and Vientos. And I put out a 5-minute video on Twitter yesterday, but for those that don't follow me on WardyNYM's Twitter, make sure to do so just that. I will just say this. Mark Vientos was mismanaged completely from the start. And I made it abundantly clear that I just want to see the kid play every day. Because if you're not going to play him every day at the AAA level or the Major League level, you're going to continue to hurt his development, 1, hurt his psyche, 2, and hurt his trade value, 3, should the Mets ever consider to part with someone like him. So I don't know how much of a disconnect, if at all, Buck and Epler were from the point of Vientos being sent up to him gaining the sporadic playing time thereafter. But what I do know is I find it unbelievably hard to believe that Epler would be happy with that scenario transpiring. And when you saw the Mets sign Luke Voit to the minor league deal to get starting reps there at first base right away in AAA, it became abundantly clear that the Mets were just not going to give Vientos a leash regardless of Alonso's injury. And while I was and still am highly against that, the kid needs to play every day. So they hurt his development. Hopefully he can get back on the roll in AAA. Was tearing the cover off the ball. Was one of the best sluggers in all the minor league level prior to his call-up. And that's something that we better not see again with the Mets. They mismanaged Vientos so poorly. So unbelievably poorly. And I don't know if they called up Vientos in a sense of trying to get a spark under the ass of Vogie. That did not work until after now Vientos is gone. Maybe Vogie feels like he has a monkey off his back with not having that same constant pressure of Vientos on the team now, or whatever it may be. But the point stands. This is a Mets team that mismanaged a young player to a degree that, again, is beyond ridiculous. They hurt the trade value. And for a team that's desperate for pitching at this trade deadline, not that I want to see Vientos go, but he is one of those prospects that you could argue is maybe a little bit more expendable at the right price for higher level pitching. And Vientos, who had a scorching hot start this year, now you just put his value down the drain, regardless of what he does for the most part at the AAA level this year. So, again, piss poor managing by the Mets from the front office to the coaching staff. That better not happen again. Should Ronnie Mauricio, for example, be called up at any point in the near future, he's finally starting to get starting reps in left field, which is great. He hit 2 home runs his first game as a left fielder, hit a home run yesterday too, I believe. Ronnie Mauricio's been on a heater, but you all know that. Again, has the most hits in all minor league baseball, if I'm not mistaken still. So again, the Mets still have talent there in AAA, whether they trade them or not. But what's most important is that regardless on if they're going to play them or it's regardless on if they're going to be at the AAA level or the MLB level, they just need to play. They need to play every single day. It's as simple as that. I want Vientos with the club, but if you're not going to play him consistently, fine. Keep his ass down there in AAA. I'll live with that, but this is a decision that should have been made weeks ago versus it being this late. And that is all I'll say in regards to that for now, and thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I think the Mets still have serious issues with their DH. I think they still have serious issues with their pitching. I think they're going to continue to get exposed as often as possible, but I hope to be proven wrong, but I firmly believe that external things need to happen with this club in order for them to get where they want to be this year. And it's going to take a lot for me to change that mindset. It's probably going to take a solid 6+ game winning streak to make me think any different. Even then, even if they win 6 straight, then they're only 2 games above 500. So even then, it's really not going to do much justice. The list is off. Lindor and Alvarez is missing. Yes, I spoke about that already. If there are any late game defensive replacements, how my the thing is automated, because I don't do the stats, it automatically updates itself. They put in the last guy that was in that position. So yes, Alvarez had a single and a walk tonight. Lindor had 2 hits, a home run and a double, and 5 RBIs. Correct. I know that earlier in the show already, though. Let's see here. Dun, 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 dun. And we're at 100 likes. Thank you guys so much for that. Continue smashing that like and subscribe on. Thank you so much in advance. Guys, everybody in the live chat right now, on a scale of 1 to 10. Actually, no, I won't say that. All right, guys. Everybody in the live chat and in the comments on replay, let's just do this. The Mets are on a 6-game road trip right now. They just finished game 1. They're 1-0. How will the Mets finish their road trip? They have the Houston Astros, and then they have the Philadelphia Phillies this weekend, in which I'm likely going to be in attendance this Saturday. Give me your road trip predictions in the live chat right now, and people in the comments watching live on replay, drop it down below. Let me see it. For me, with how this first game went, I am going to go with 3-3. As much as I want to give them a winning record, I need them to prove it. I think that they're going to win one series but lose the other. That's what I think is going to happen. So I'm going to go 3-3, but I hope I am proven wrong, and I would love it. If the Mets can have a 4-2 road trip, that would be phenomenal. If they go on a win streak and win the whole damn road trip, I will lose my effing mind. But with the way the Phillies are playing right now, even with the Mets being their daddy, I expect the Phillies to be better, and I expect the Phillies to, at minimum, win 1 game, if not win the series against the Mets this weekend. So that's how I'm feeling. But I love the optimism from you guys. I really do. Chris with 2-4, so he's not sold on him yet, that's for sure. But again, if the Mets go 3-3, it won't change anything for the standings probably. But it's better than the losing record. Again, not happy with it, but just the bar is still so low with this club that I need to see more dominant wins. Doesn't need to be 11-1 dominant, but I just need them to string together consistent victories and get consistent production from everyone together. Once they do that is when I'll start to feel happy and to an extent comfortable and cautiously optimistic, if you will. But until then, I don't have much to say. So again, hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully, they can have a winning record on this road trip. And give me 1 second, guys. Got to grab something real quick. All right, guys. So we got a lot of 4-2s. We got some 6-0s. We got some 3-3s. We got some 2-4s. Yeah. No, I feel that. I do. Totally do. Again, I hope I'm proven wrong more than anything. Hope I'm proven wrong. But guys, before we get out of here, you know the drill. We got to talk about our last but not least sponsor, and Manta Sleep. If you guys are staying up late, especially with a little bit later game like tonight, and watching the full post-game show the way that I'm distributing it to you, then you're going to want good shut-eye at night. And the best way to get good shut-eye at night is using the Manta Sleep Mask. This is the Manta Sleep Mask Pro. I slip it on like a beauty every single night. I'm sleeping like a baby, no matter how late or early I'm up every single night. And then especially in the morning, say you don't want the sunlight in your eyes because, you don't have the blinds that lock out the sunlight completely. You slip this bad boy on, and again, you're in complete darkness and complete comfortability. And that's why I've loved their product, as they've been a great sponsor on the channel for the past couple months. And tell you guys a little bit more about Manta Sleep for those that don't know, and all you got to do, again, is click the link in the description and use use my promo code WARDY for 10% off your purchase. I mean, just look at how happy this woman is. If she's happy, then, you know, you got to be happy because you got the Manta sleep mask. And when you want to go to bed sleeping like a baby, or maybe if you're dealing with any noises around you, and maybe it's during the day and you're just trying to get a nap in, the sound mask to your top left, as you see, will help you in that regard. You can play whatever music you want to listen to. You can listen to some Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin. You want to listen to Rat Pack? Go ahead. If you're into the heavier stuff, you want to listen to Slipknot, you know, you want to listen into anything you want, by all means, go ahead and do that. Or, you know, maybe you want to listen to some Morgan Wallen, you know, some Today's Country. Whatever music preference you have is what you can use with that sound mask, while also getting the perfect comfort and darkness that you expect from a sound mask. Not just a sound mask, but a Manta mask. Then you have, of course, what I have here, which is a Manta Sleep Mask Pro, which I absolutely love and I use nightly. You also have a Wade mask, which I've heard is very comfortable. You have a cool mask if you're going to bed, and again, you're a little hot at night, especially on the East Coast during the summer. Out West, for that matter, same applies. It's even worse, right? And you want to go to bed nice, calm, cool, and comfortable, especially if you're heated after a Mets loss late at night that we all have dealt with a lot. Then you throw on the Manta Cool mask, gives you some nice cooling around the eye sockets, and you're feeling great. Or the opposite, if you want some heat, some steam around the face, you know, you want to open things up a little bit, that's where you get the Manta Steam Mask. Gives you some nice, calm, warm heat around the eye sockets. And again, you can go to bed in any comfortable way that you want. And all you gotta do once more is click the link in the chat, go to Manta Sleep's website, mantasleep.com, and use my promo code WARDY for 10% off your purchase. Again, that is promo code WARDY for 10% off your purchase. Shout out to everyone that has went out of their way to purchase said masks. Even Braves fans have slid in my DMs and have told me that they have purchased the mask just because of how much they appreciate the channel. Even as an opposing fan, whether that's for sympathy reasons or not, I will take it, and I appreciate every single one of you guys that has went out of your way to buy what has been an amazing product for myself and for many here in Metsland. But shout out to them again for being a great sponsor, and shout out to you all again for watching tonight's show. But that's gonna do it, folks. Time to hit the hay. Time to slip on the Manta Sleep Mask. Your boy needs some shut-eye. Mets back at it tomorrow night with JV on the bump. Barring any changes, I will be live. If for whatever reason something changes, I'll keep you guys posted. But as of now, we will be live tomorrow with JV making his return to Houston, in which he's won some championships there. So excited to see how JV fares against his former club. We'll see how he's looking. But more than anything, thank you guys so much for watching live on replay. Mets take game one of a 3-game set against the Houston Astros by a final score of 11-1. The offense was early, it was often, and Mad Max just had one of his best starts in his Mets tenure. Thank you guys again, and no matter what, let's go Mets, baby. Peace out.